Oh hey, I see you finally finished the dining room chandelier.
And I see you're still being a smartass.
Hey look, I know I gave you a hard time about the project, but I've gotta say, it turned out really nice. Was it worth it?
In this instance, the juice was absolutely worth the squeeze.
Hey there, I'm Gingy,
And I'm Adam.
and you're watching our renovation on Iris Street.
I think you mean my renovation on Iris Street?
It's week 173.
And this chandelier is just the tip of the iceberg this week.
Okay Adam, let's do the thing. Welcome back, renovators. This week starts with a task I've been dying to complete, hanging the custom dining room chandelier. I pre-drill 3 holes in each frame that will be used to anchor them to the ceiling joists. I mark the center of each frame and affix each via the center screw. Using my 6-foot level, I make sure the boxes are parallel to each other before driving in the final 4 screws. I install all 8 track lights and make sure all the electrics are working before sliding the assembly into the hanging boxes. I wire the power cord to the ceiling gang box, and just like that, the project is done. This custom chandelier took over 4 weeks to design and build, which is much longer than I anticipated, but I'm thrilled with how it came out. I love how the dovetailed joints look, and the simple frames look so much more elegant than last week's chunky design. The assembly floats in the 2 boxes, so if I ever need to take it down for repairs, it'll be as easy as disconnecting the power cord and moving it down. The Type H track lighting supports either halogen lights or GU10 LEDs, lending to a great variety of lighting options. I have the chandelier hooked up to a dimmer switch so the mood can be bright or warm and cozy like a candlelight dinner. All in all, the chandelier easily lights the 10-foot span of this table, ties in beautifully with the other walnut fixtures I'm building throughout the house, and I couldn't be happier with the final result. On Saturday, my new sofa from Castlery arrives, so I bring it inside before running some errands. In the evening, I'm down in the basement trying to do some more cleanup, in particular, going through my box of computer cords and getting rid of ones I no longer need. On Sunday, I start fermenting a batch of sourdough before turning to some organization in the basement. I keep moving these shelves around as I work on different parts of the house, and so for tonight, this one is going to be staged in the home theater. In the evening, I'm back upstairs assembling the new sofa. Before I can do that, however, I need to move my old couch to the sunroom. I figure this will be a great sofa to have in the porch since it's brown, will hide dirt easily, and is okay if it gets a little dirty. I throw down the new floor rug and tackle the couch assembly. On Monday, I have the day off of work, so I get my sourdough ready to bake. My starter is bubbling away, the loaves are rising in the bannetons, and my cast iron Dutch oven is at the ready for baking. I'm still dialing in the baking process in my new oven, so we'll see how it turns out. Hey guys, bit of an exciting update. The flooring for my gym arrived today. Each one of these rolls, it's gotta be like 150 to 200 pounds, probably closer to 150. Anyways, I could really use help getting them downstairs, but I think I'm gonna build a kind of sled to help me slide them down the stairs. But first, I need to clear out the garage and build my crosscut sled. So let's do that first. So, I'm either a genius or an idiot. Probably an idiot. But I'm gonna give this a try. Wish me luck. That kind of worked. I need some string to help me pull it. Back upstairs, I pop my bread in the oven before returning downstairs to lay out the new flooring. These rolls take a little trial and error to get them laid out, and if I were to do this again, I wouldn't align them in the middle, but would rather align them to one edge of the room so that my cutoffs at the end would be as big as possible. Initially, I thought I would only have enough material to cover the width of the room, which is 15 feet, and then the first 12 foot of the room because each roll is 4 feet wide, leaving a small section at the end uncovered. Later in the week, I realized I have enough scrap to cover the whole room, so by maximizing the size of my cutoff pieces, I could have had less seams at the end of the room, but more on that later. Back upstairs, the bread is done. It's not my best loaf, but it's still delicious. I think it's still a little underbaked. It is pretty good, but I wonder if I should bake it in the cast iron for like the first half an hour and then take it out and finish baking it in the oven. I don't know. I'll keep playing with it. What a gangbusters day. Back downstairs, I trimmed the pieces to length. As mentioned before, I wasn't very efficient with how I cut these, but the fit is excellent and I'm really happy with how the gym is coming together. I finished the week by working some more on my crosscut sleds. Crosscut sleds are a plywood contraption that enable extremely precise crosscuts on the table saw. I cut the main pieces tonight before turning downstairs to glue together 2 sled fences which consist of 2 pieces of plywood each. Last but not least, I cut the leftover flooring scrap to fill in the whole room. After this week, I'm exhausted but thrilled with the progress. As always, thanks for tuning in, and until next week, happy renovating.